You mentioned some studies there that have really supported your thesis that Azempec is more than just a weight loss drug and that it has these other sort of regenerative properties and these healing properties. What are some of the studies? You've got some things in front of you there that you brought with you. What are some of these studies that highlight this in your view?
Well, so there's one study in particular that I don't have the title of it written down, where they looked at all of the data on all of the GLP-1 agonists that are out there, the different versions that I mentioned. And they went back through all of the studies and they looked at it system by system by system. And I gave your team a link to that. And what they found is, I mean, going from tip to toe, neuroregeneration and anti-inflammation in the brain. They showed improvements in cardiovascular tissue. We just had a study come out at the end of 2023 called the SELECT trial. It was a big one. Yes, it was sponsored by Novo Nordisk, who's the manufacturer of semaglutide, I should say, of Ozempic. And so people say, oh, don't believe those studies. It was a well-done study. It looked at individuals in their 40s who were overweight but did not have type 2 diabetes, and it showed a 20% reduction in severe cardiovascular events. So stroke and heart attack and others. And so then people argued once that came out and said, oh, well, that foof, Novo Nordisk did it. And that would happen if people lost weight anyway, right? You'd have improvements in cardiovascular disease. Well, they just looked at the data again and realized that those benefits were independent of weight loss. Whether people lost weight or not, they still had significant improvement in cardiovascular outcomes, which there's just nothing, we don't have anything out there that does that. I found data showing regeneration of pancreatic tissue, beta cells in type 1 diabetics, if given early enough. So if a person is type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune condition where the pancreas becomes destroyed by the immune system. It's different than type 2. We don't have anything to help those people. It used to be called juvenile diabetes, and then type 2 was adult onset, but now kids, many children are dealing with type 2, so it's a big mishmash. But they're two different processes. They shouldn't even have the same name. Anyway, done early, reversal of that pancreatic damage to the point where people didn't need to go on insulin and were able to have pancreatic healing. We don't have anything that does that except stem cells.